Just kids when we fell in love.
Harry and Meghan's careers are on life support. Today, their name couldn't sell jam to jelly donuts, but it's even worse than that. Now the couple are a Hollywood punchline.
So this is exciting. You need basil for this recipe, and I have 2 basil plants. Check them out. Well, don't look at that one. I'm friggin' Meghan Markle over here.
Despite the damage done to their reputation, the Meghans will not stop playing games. Harry launched a solo tour to try to win people back, hoping that the world is going to forget that he betrayed his family over the last few years. But that doesn't really matter now, because Harry was outplayed by Meghan's silence. That was her cheap stunt to bait the press to cover her.
Where's Meghan?
Oh, man, I think she's holed up in Montecito, pressing refresh on American Riviera Orchard to see if it's gone live yet.
Like this. Come on!
Meanwhile, US Weekly tried to boost Meghan's image, and the news broke out that there's a publishing bidding war over her memoir. But neither of those two events could overshadow the real headlines. Meghan painted the night red, a body language expert spilled the beans, Victoria Beckham had a laugh, another staff member quit, Harry got spanked by a judge and used by Boris Johnson, and then he cashed another check from BetterUp.
And presumably there was lots of times where individually or as a team, you guys lost your flow. How do you get it back?
At this point, the coat of arms for the House of Montecito should simply state, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. When it comes to Harry and Meghan, they simply wanted to swap out royalty for Hollywood celebrity. But those two realities, they don't mix. It's like oil and water. So the couple failed. Now they've run out of Hollywood suckers, real corporate sponsors, and friends. So all the rats are fleeing the sinking ship.
Hang on, Meghan. Meghan, straight ahead, please. On the end of Meghan, darling, Meghan, darling.
Remember that lady who tried to move Meghan on from the red carpet? That's Ashley Hansen. She makes staff member number 19 to quit Archwell. And of course, the Montecito merchandisers did what they've always done. They tried to spin the news to sound positive, that Ashley started her own company and that Archwell is her very first client. And that has about as much credibility as when Spotify fired the couple. And Harry and Meghan said, we mutually agreed to move on. And it's about as cringeworthy as Meghan's speech last year at Variety.
What is the thing that is, driving the work that you're going to put out into the business?
Things that make people feel...
I feel sick.
I was going to say good, but it's more than that. Things that make people feel.
I feel nothing.
Something, right? And feel a sense of community, but we have so many exciting things on this slate. I can't wait until we can announce them, but I'm just really proud of what we're creating. My husband is loving it too.
Like enough of the pain, enough of the suffering.
I tell you what, someone over at InStyle definitely felt something. That was their head hitting the floor when their boss told them that they had to label Meghan Markle as a jam entrepreneur on their Instagram page. It's either that or the fact that they read the latest US Weekly puff piece calling Harry and Meghan two hands-on parents. Seriously? Which one of the two is hands-on? Is it Harry, who spends most of the time around the world away from home, trying to convince the king that, look at me, Pa, I'm a big boy doing big boy things all by my big boy lonesome? Or is it Meghan in Nigeria missing another Mother's Day for the second or third year in a row? Or maybe even recently when she staged another publicity event by crashing a charity meant for children.
And Meghan, right here.
Meghan, straight ahead. And right here, please. Oh, ladies, can we start you at the beginning, please?
Together, ladies. And together,
Ladies,
right here.
together.
And ladies together. Oh, one stop.
And can we get all the smiles in one direction?
And
There it is.
there we
Thank you, cute. Oh.
By the way, did you happen to notice how fast Meghan kicked Harry out of the news? The hungry ego alert does not like to share the spotlight with anyone. So she decided that she's going to have a public night on the town. And in fact, she kicked Harry off the front page. This is exactly what I shared last week in my video when I said the Meghan's relationship is doomed. You cannot have two people with this type of character compete against one another, going head to head week after week. Now, let me just say, when it comes to LA Children's Hospital, they do a miraculous job. They're fantastic. And I want them to continue doing that to help as many children and parents as possible. But when it comes to their association with the Montecito manipulators, let's just say that it's not the feather in the cap the hospital thinks it is. There are multiple reports right now that the delusional diva was not invited to the actual dinner gala.
She was with one or two children for about 10 seconds, and that was it. And she looked so inappropriate. I mean, that dress is really for, I daren't say it really, but it's not appropriate. It's actually rather vulgar. And to do that when you're not even invited is extraordinary. She didn't pay to go there. You do have to pay to sit down and have a meal. She didn't do that. And they shushed her out.
Shushed is absolutely right, and People magazine confirmed it in their latest write-up. The Duchess was later escorted out of the event by a side door by a staff member, though she chatted to anyone who stopped her on her way out. Now, I took a little extra time with this story because I think it's important. Because even the appearance of someone using a children's charity simply to feed their ego or to get a photo shoot out of it, that's about as low as a human can get. But then Meghan, that wasn't enough for her. She decided to post a picture of her and a child from that day's charity on her website. And then she turned around and took a shot at bending reality to fit her internal fiction.
Oh my goodness, the work that they do at Children's Hospital LA is otherworldly. And I think from my standpoint as a mother, no one wants to have to be in a position where you need to go to a place like this, but if you have to, the best place in the world you could go would be Children's Hospital LA. And I have close friends who still have their children there going through treatments, either from high school, close mom friends now that are having their children really have that experience. But the staff is incredible, and the amount of work that they do for families that really could not afford this level of care is something that I think should never be overlooked. So I'm just grateful for everything they do. Happy to be here to support.
If we had real journalists around today, they would have already uncovered the fact that Meghan didn't have any high school friends. They weren't at her wedding because she didn't invite them because they didn't exist. And if a reporter spent another couple of minutes searching on Google, they would be able to unmask the couple's character using solely fact. Just take a look at their website, Sussex Royal. Walmart Wallace still has all her patronages listed even after they've been stripped away by Queen Elizabeth. King Charles, for example. He took away the Association of Commonwealth Universities from Meghan. Then he replaced Meghan as the patron of the National Theatre in London by giving that over to Queen Camilla. The dim bulb, he also lost out. But Harry still refuses to remove any of the patronages he's lost, like the Rugby Football League or the Rugby Football Federation. That was given over to Princess Catherine. See, when you add up all these facts, we can only come to one result. How the Meghans treat the royal family, and particularly the truth, lets us know kind of like what She Who Must Be Obeyed is going to say in her memoir.
Now, there's apparently a bidding war for Meghan Markle's memoir, which is bizarre, really, to me that anybody would want to publish this. But how long will it take, do you think, Emily, for the book to end up in the discount bin?
From a day to probably a week.
I mean, how much do you want to bet that it's going to start with yet another rendition of that anecdote where she managed to get a sexist advert changed because she wrote a letter to the bosses?
When it comes to Spare 2.0, you and I both know that if it's anything like the original, it's going to be nasty. But especially when it comes to Victoria Beckham, who recently told a friend that she never liked Meghan. Yes, she was polite and kind, but there's a reason she didn't stay in touch. So it's odd when Posh Spice was trying to avoid the Montecito merchandisers. You had Boris Johnson reaching out to Harry, trying to convince him to stay in the United Kingdom.
So in a sort of, fit of pomposity, I thought, this national asset is leaving our country. I'm going to try and discourage him. And so I had a pathetic attempt at that. It didn't work.
No.
And there you go. I failed to avert Megxit.
I'm really surprised Harry didn't phone up Boris and say, hey, I need a little bit of help and guidance. Because Justice Fancourt warned the spoil spare not to waste any more of the High Court's time with any of his frivolous claims about bugging and tracking devices supposedly being planted by the Sun newspaper group.
He said, there's no way they could have got this information, but they got it because it was either released by the palace in a statement or it was actually published in other newspapers. So you can really see a paranoia here that's driving Prince Harry's vendetta against British media that's not really rooted in fact. And the judge is calling him up on it, which can be quite embarrassing, actually, if it keeps happening.
I'll say this to the day I die. Character is the only thing that counts. Character is everything. And when it comes to the California couple, if you want to learn their character, the devil is in the details. The real reason why Meghan Markle is hands-on with Prince Harry. Duchess's double clutch is a gesture of ownership, body language expert says. It doesn't really matter how many people Harry and Meghan have hired to repair their image. The damage is done. And in the end of the day, the couple always shows their true colors. Body language expert Judy James was reflecting on the relationship, how it's evolved over time. In the beginning, Meghan would cling to Harry like a security blanket, she said. But now it's more like a predator marking her territory. The good news is, while Mr. and Mrs. Hasbin are playing their games, Princess Catherine was hugging a cancer patient over at Windsor Castle. She was showing the world how a true human behaves, filling the girl with all of her love and shining like a true princess. Now, if you enjoyed the video and found value in it, hit subscribe, smash the like button, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below what you think is going on with Harry and Meghan. Do you think they're coming apart at the seams, or do you think this is a ploy? People magazine said this is some type of new twin professional separation, but they're really in love and sticking together.
They've gone their separate ways.
If you want to win every battle and stay true to yourself, all you have to remember is we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always forward.
Just kids when we fell.